What is going on? It is Nintendo Powercast. I got to think of a fun name for this. In fact, while we're waiting for people to jump in, we're going to look it up real quick. So I want to find something fun here that we're going to call this. We're going to figure it out together too, all right? So I'm looking up what some of the different sections were within the Nintendo, like within Nintendo Power, because I know they had like a write-in, like you could write, like send letters and stuff, and so I'm just curious if that had a title. I want to come up with something that, like, you know, it's all about giving you guys a voice. The Player's Pulse. Player's Pulse. I think that's a revamp. That's what we're doing it. Okay. So this is NPC Player's Pulse. That's what this is going to be going forward. NPC Player's Pulse. So I hope you guys are ready. Today's show is going to be all about what is Nintendo planning on doing for the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. And I've got some ideas. But before we get into it, let's play the intro. Fun fact, because I edit this before I put it out on Spotify, I know that I just sit here in silence because on my end, I'm still watching the intro. And I don't think the rest of you get to see, like, the intro's done and I'm just sitting here staring. You probably always wonder, why am I just sitting here quietly? Because it does me dirty every time. I cut it out in post when I re-upload it. So, but yeah, the main topic for today's show, and I gotta say, guys, there is something a little bit, it feels good to like be back doing this stuff. And so I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. I want to give a shout out to like everybody that's been leaving comments on the YouTube videos, on the Spotify posts. You guys are amazing. If you're here live, and I see you guys are lurking, so glad you're here. So glad you're here. So I'm gonna rewind. I'm gonna rewind the B-roll that we got playing. And we're going to take a look at the 35th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, and they start off strong by showing us Mario 35. Now, every part of me, I'm sorry, they started with the Game & Watch. I'm not sure they're going to do hardware again. I'm curious what you guys think. You can let me know in the comments after the fact, but do you think we see any kind of hardware? Like, I don't know if they would jump back into the Game & Watch. Maybe there's the Game & Watch is like a classic system, like very classic. Do you think we get to the point to where they release a Game Boy that only has like Mario Brothers Deluxe on it and like the Mario Land games, and that's it? You can't put anything else on it? I don't know why they wouldn't, right? Like, if they're going to do a Game & Watch, they could do Game Boy, right? But would you guys pick something like that up? And let's say it's also like themed, right? Because one of the things I have in my collection is like, I think it's from the 20th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. It's a Game Boy Advance, like the Game Boy Micro. And I love it. It looks like a Famicom. It's like gold and red. It's gorgeous, like gorgeous. I have the box for it and everything. And I actually got the Japanese version because it was way better than the US version. I see Shepard is here. It's Wild Josh. That's right. I'm here. And we are talking 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. Now, on screen, we're seeing Mario 3D World. And then, of course, they brought out Bowser's Fury also, right? So it was like the Game & Watch, we had a piece of hardware, and then we get this remastered game with a really cool, like, DLC, if you will. I don't know if DLC is really the best way to put it, but like, you know, more of like a kind of like a proof of concept, more or less. Like Bowser's Fury is fantastic. Like, so much fun. I loved how creative it was. I loved the power-ups more than anything. And then I loved Giant Bowser, Giant Mario. Like, I thought it was so good. And Super Mario 3D World, I mean, that holds a special place in my heart. So what do you guys think we're gonna see? What do you think we're gonna see? I've talked about it in another video. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a new Super Mario Brothers All-Stars for Switch and Switch 2, which would include the DS game, the Wii game, the 3DS game. That'd be 3 right there. Do you think they throw... I don't know if they throw the 4th game on there, but we'd at least see those 3 games. And then if you want to get new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, that's another purchase you can get as well. So I could see them going that route where it's like a collection of the new games. I'd be here for it. I think it would be great. So if they're gonna follow kind of what they did for 35, that could be the direction they go. Now, I do think there's going to be plenty of games coming out on the OG Switch. I think when it comes to the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, I think there's going to be a couple things that are Switch exclusive. And I think there's going to be a couple things that happen within some games that will be Switch 2 exclusive. But for the most part, I think this is going to be a celebration that's going to span the Switch family of consoles. You know, they're showing Mario Kart Live Circuit right now, which is super fun, but you gotta have a lot of space for it. Also, if you have pets, it can be a bit of a nightmare. Even if you sweep on the regular, the hair gets in the wheels. It can be not great. So, but very fun when you do get to, like, the best is like if you could get into like a gym or something like that and be able just to set it up and go for it. Like, it's fantastic. So a new Mario All-Stars game. There's 3 games in one right there. You guys think Galaxy 2? You think there's a Galaxy 2 like remake in the works? Or 3D All-Stars again, but they include Galaxy this time? Or it's the announcement of the new 3D Mario game. Now, the other thing that they did, they're showing the cool pins right now, which I think, you know, all the pins, great. Love that. They're showing Mario Kart Tour right now where they added 16-bit Mario, which I think is super cool as well. But what if, just like they're showing Mario Maker 2 right now and how they added some things there. They're showing Smash Brothers, the Nintendo versus Challenge Cup. here's where I'm thinking this is going. Mario Kart World. I'm thinking they are going to add a cup that is very Super Mario Brothers themed, like maybe even, you know, the classic like bricks. Maybe we see things that represent like the first world of Super Mario Brothers 1-1, 1-2, you know. I mean, we see that stuff already in certain tracks, but I'm just kind of wondering if they don't use world, because it's one of those things. They're like, hey, new tracks that are free to celebrate Super Mario Brothers 40th anniversary. All you need to do is be an NSO member and you get these games or this track, right? Just like we're seeing, like they used Splatoon for the 35th. They used Animal Crossing. I think they will use Mario Kart World for the 40th anniversary. Now, I've said this on a couple of different podcasts, but I think that they are going to do either a Switch 2 version or DLC for Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And my guess, my prediction is that it will include the entire game of Super Mario Brothers, but done in World's art style or Wonder's art style with Wonder Flowers. So you almost like, you kind of double the amount of levels that way. So you're talking about like with Wonder Flowers, you're talking about like 64 levels. And you guys know how it plays out. Like you play the level, but if you hit the Wonder Flower, it really changes things. Now, story-wise, I think it would be super fun if there was a time travel aspect, or we have to go back to those levels, but they look kind of old and worn out. I just kind of love that when games do that kind of stuff. Basically, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, when you go to Donut Plains, and it looks like it's been a track since 92, and everything's kind of crumbling a little bit and stuff. Like, I love that kind of stuff. I'm totally here for it. So I think that would be amazing. But jumping into Wonder, but getting to play the very first Super Mario Brothers game, that sounds like so much fun to me. Like so much fun. And what a great way to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. So I know we've had quite a few people lurking today. If you guys got some thoughts on what you think Nintendo's going to do, please share it in the comments. I'm taking a look. I don't know if anybody really answered. We have Brian from the Discord. Brianot said same thing they did for 35th. They will release an awesome game and then remove it. You know, if you're watching the B-roll right now, you're seeing 3D All-Stars, and that game didn't last, you know. So, which was a bummer that it's not available, because I've heard people talking about, like, I want to go pick this game up. Like, I get it. I understand completely. I see Ryan is here. What's going on? Happy Thursday to you. Rico Lee says, hey, Josh, I hope you're doing well. I completely agree on Galaxy 2 or an announcement of the next 3D Mario. It just makes sense. I think Mario 1 Remake in Wonder style would be basically perfect. I think so too. Now, I also wouldn't mind the announcement of Mario Maker 3. Let's say this. The absolute must-haves for the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. The absolute, they have to do this. You've got Probably got Mario Sunshine getting put on NSO. I do believe at some point Wii games will come out, and that will probably guarantee us getting Galaxy 1 and 2. Like, no question there. But the absolute must-haves for the 40th anniversary, we got to have a new 3D Mario. Like, that has to happen. If they do a Galaxy remake or something like that, that's fine. But they, at the very least, need to tease, because I would say, like, 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, like if they kind of just follow the a similar pattern, I would say that Galaxy 2 would fall into where, that remake, it wasn't really a remake, but they added Bowser's Fury and they did make the game run faster. So I would say that's very doable. The other thing that I would be just completely floored and stoked for is Mario Maker 3. With this mouse functionality, I don't see there being anything wrong with Nintendo really going ham on Mario for the 40th anniversary. Again, a lot of this can get pushed to both systems. Not the new 3D Mario. We don't want to see it dumbed down. But I'm talking any of the remake stuff. Why leave it on Switch 2 alone? It would be great to see that some of these Switch 2 games get the Switch 2 treatment. Like we find out that like they're gonna run at faster frame rates and higher resolutions, all that kind of stuff. Maybe cleaned up a bit. Love all that. But then, like, again, I like, if what needs to be exclusive is a 3D Mario, it needs to be Switch 2 only. And I know not everybody loves hearing that, but I think it's kind of a no-brainer. I think that's the direction they'll go. And even we're watching, I'm getting a little bit distracted right now just watching this just the history of Mario, and they're just showcasing all the different games. Like, we just saw 3D Land, right? Like, 3D Land would be fantastic. I'm always of the mind that the more we can get every game on the system, the better. So, to be able to have all the Mario games on Switch 2, I want that. I want that. I want to be able to play those 3DS games and those DS games that we don't have access to. Like, for the game of the month, which I think we're going to start game of the month. I think we're going to start it now. And it might run a little bit long because of the launch of Switch 2. Like, it might run a bit long. But Super Mario 3 is our game of the month. I got some super cool stuff planned. There's so many Easter eggs in that game, right? Like, it's honestly kind of crazy how much cool stuff is there. But the best version of that game, in my opinion, is the GBA. Like Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario 3, I think is the name of it, or something crazy like that. So those kind of like those games that aren't just the native version, I'm totally cool with it. Like, totally cool with it. You got the All-Stars games on here. So again, different variations of those same games. So what if the new series they they treated a bit more like Mario All-Stars and gave everything a little bit of a facelift. Maybe gave it kind of more of a bit of the Wonder look. So it is a ton of work, but to have the DS and the 3DS games looking gorgeous on Switch or Switch 2, both, I would dig it. I would really, really love it. I mean, it's like playing Ocarina on your 3DS. That's the best version. It looks better. There's quality of life improvements. You know, even 3D World, which we're seeing on the B-roll right now, runs way faster on Switch than it did on the Wii U. So, taking a look here, Ryan says, whatever Nintendo does, it needs to have a wow factor that gets everyone excited. Yes. And I feel like the 35th anniversary did just that. It was like Nintendo showed up. I think the only thing it fell flat in my opinion, is the Switch. The red Switch, which I can't remember if they announced it on here or if it came out at a different time, but like, if they're going to do a 40th anniversary Switch too, like make that thing pop. Give me a reason to spend another $450, you know, give me that wow factor. Like Ryan said, Rico said, I feel like a remake of either Mario 64, Sunshine, or even Yoshi's Island would make a lot of sense too. None of Mario's past platformers have modern remakes. It's a no-brainer to remake them. And that there's like remakes totally, like, again, you could completely be onto something there. The other thing is when you start including like Yoshi's Island and some of the Game Boy games and stuff, there are other games that they could pull from if they wanted to do another collection set like Mario, like 3D All-Stars. And, you know, 64, who wouldn't want to replay that with modern graphics and stuff? Like, I would. Again, you have the DS version, which I know there's a lot of the younger generation loves that version of the game. Playing as Wario, playing as Yoshi, that kind of stuff. Gaming Since the 80s says, Josh, how you doing? I'm doing amazing, my friend. Having the DS games and maybe Super Mario Galaxy 2 in an anniversary collection would be awesome. I agree. And again, having the full collection of games is something that is very, very important to me. Like I love that. You got like a little bit off topic, but like when it comes to the Metroid games, the best version of Metroid 2 is on the 3DS. It needs a port. That needs to get ported. I know like some people are like, no more remakes, no more, you know, but like, I want to play that Metroid on my Switch, on the TV. It's a great Metroid game that's stuck on that handheld. Super Mario 3D Land, fantastic game. There's probably plenty of people that, you know, didn't have the 3DS, didn't get to play it. Same as New Super Mario Brothers, same as New Super Mario Brothers 2. Like, they may not be the best 2D Marios, but they're still fun. They're still very enjoyable. Nady Nay is here. What's up, baby? Good to see you. No, don't. What is it doing? I accidentally right-clicked. Here we go. Nady Nay is here. Rico says, New Super Mario All-Stars in Wonder's engine would be a dream come true for me. I really feel like the remakes of World and Yoshi's Island would be a perfect way to cross-promote for the movie too. Hey, there you go. There you go. And again, I mean, like I mentioned earlier in the show, like Super Mario Brothers in the world, in the Wonder style, Super Mario World in the Wonder style, the new, like, I love the way Wonder looks. Now, if they don't do that, it seems, I mean, I don't know if they even have anything ready. But if a 3D and a 2D Mario were announced, I'm here for it. Seeing the trailer for Super Mario World, I'm here for it. The new movie, right? I feel like the 35th Direct was packed full of stuff. I feel like because of the timing of the 40th and the new console release, we're going to see a lot of stuff that's on both platforms. And I don't think it's going to really matter because, again, if they do a collection, those games will run just fine anywhere. I do want to see some love to just Switch 2 as well, but include as many people as possible into in this anniversary. Don't leave everybody out, but also dangle that carrot. Like, you want the new 3D Mario, get the Switch 2. Gaming Since the 80s says releasing only an HD version of Skyward Sword was disrespectful towards my favorite Nintendo franchise. Uh-oh. Let's see. Let me get the first part of this comment. It says, as long as Nintendo don't pull a single HD release for the Mario anniversary, like they did for the 35th anniversary of Zelda. Oh, releasing the HD version of Skyward. I know everybody wanted a collection there. Everybody wanted Wind Waker and Twilight Princess as a double pack. I'm very curious on which games, if any. I'm pretty certain Mario Kart World is going to do something to promote Super Mario Brothers. I feel like World right now is Mario Kart World is a love letter to like Mario fans, right? Like everything in that game points to classic Mario. There's so much there, from the characters that you get to you get to race with, to the levels. You know, you've got classic levels, but you've also got like the Mario circuit. Like, it looks very classic, just classic Mario. And I love that they're leaning into that. And I feel like it leans towards, you know, a Super Mario Brothers Grand Prix. Like, I really do think that could be the something that they do to kind of promote this. And again, what do they do to you know, does that entice more people to get the Switch 2 to get Mario Kart World? I don't know. I really want something like Mario 35 again. I don't know about you guys, but that to me was a bummer that they did not leave that on NSO. That was probably the most confusing thing when it came to those decisions to use like the scarcity factor when it came to marketing these games. Like, it's only going to be available for so long, so make sure you sign up for NSO now and don't miss out on getting Super Mario 3D All-Stars because it's only going to be here for a certain time. Like that, it seems like a strange thing for Nintendo to do when they've got the brand muscles that they do. And maybe it helped move the needle more to get people purchasing these games, but I feel like from the conversations I've had from people that have got into the system late, they're like, yo, why is 3D All-Stars $110 at GameStop? And Nintendo's not seeing that money. They're not seeing anything that's, you know, people are paying double the price for that game, and they don't get to see any of that. At the very least, put this game back out again digitally, at the very least, or do a Switch 2 version of it and add Galaxy. Let's see here. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So Rico says Mario World remake for Mario's anniversary and a Yoshi's Island remake to give Yoshi a big game of his own too, if they don't have a new Yoshi game coming instead. That's a possibility. Gaming Since the 80s says I would put Super Mario Brothers 2 and Doki Doki Panic Original on the 40th anniversary of Super Mario. Hey, there you go. Letting everybody try Doki Doki for the first time, which, I mean, essentially we've played it, but, you know, just without the Mario characters. Rico says, same here. I never understood that being a limited time. It was incredibly dumb. 3D All-Stars shouldn't have been either. But I'd say Mario 35 was yeah, the fact that they pulled that one before, like, only gave us a certain amount of time with it. Like, not I just, because like you said, it was a new game. Why take it off? Why take away from the value out of NSO? With a battle royale of Super Mario Brothers, like when I would jump into that, I felt like I had trained my whole life to play that. Like, it was so much fun. I do kind of wonder if for the 40th anniversary, if we're not going to see, because it's the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, but they did so much on the 35th. Like, I think seeing some things in game is very, very possible. I think we might see, you know, another pin set or something along those lines. It's going to be a tough act to follow. The 35th anniversary is going to be a tough act to follow. And I feel like, yes, Nintendo has always done, they've always celebrated the anniversaries to some extent. But I feel like the 35th, they pulled out all the stops. And I think it was fantastic. And so I hope we see more of the same. And I think everybody is okay, even if it's not all Super Mario Brothers related, right? Like, as far as, like, we saw 3D World get announced. We saw Bowser's Fury. We saw 3D All-Stars. Those aren't Super Mario Brothers games, like the OG Mario Brothers. So just lean into it as much as possible. Make those decisions that are going to sell Switch 2s and get people purchasing that love Mario, that are even on the OG Switch. You know, if there's games that can that can potentially come out on OG Switch, like another collection or anything like that, get them out there. Reach that massive fan base with everybody's favorite mascot. Rico says, also, can we have no limited time games for Mario's 40th? That was so pointless and literally only ruined the hype and the fun vibe for no reason. It was anti-consumer anyway. Nintendo should be above that. And I don't disagree. The scarcity tactic, like, yes, it's a tactic that works. Don't get me wrong. But it just seems like such a bizarre choice for a company with as much brand equity as Nintendo to pull. I just didn't quite understand why they were doing it. Like, it honestly didn't make sense to me. I mean, I know they want as many sales as possible as quickly as possible, and that the scarcity factor, it does cause people to open their wallets quicker because there's that possibility of FOMO, and nobody, FOMO helps people spend money, like, no question. Skyward Sword wasn't a limited release, right? Like, outside of the very first Fire Emblem game that also should still be around, was localized to only be sold for a short period of time. I don't know that I can name other brands that have just a one and done like that. Like, you got a few months to buy it, then it's going to go away. So I don't know why Mario, being their, what I would say their most popular mascot, gets those kind of strange decisions. I just don't know if I fully understand or, really agree with that choice. And again, it boils down to, like, I have had so many people that are like, yo, I'm trying to find All-Stars. Why is it so much? And that's a bummer. So, kind of put a bow on this thing before we jump into some Mario Kart. New 3D Mario, Super Mario Brothers in Mario Wonder, like the very first game, just get it all wonderfied. Maybe a new piece of hardware as far as like a Game Boy that just comes preloaded like the Game & Watch. But, you know, Super Mario Brothers, I think it's called Deluxe. It was a Game Boy Color game. Maybe get the land games in there. Some kind of fun piece of hardware. Bring Mario 40 back where it's 40 players instead of 35. Let it stick around. I don't care if they pull it off when the next one comes out. You know, give it 5 years and then Mario 45 comes out and then Mario 50. But let us play this. It's too good. It's too good to not let us play it. So, cool piece of hardware. New 3D Mario. Super Mario Brothers in Mario Wonder for like maybe a Switch 2 version. I don't know though. Part of me doesn't want that locked behind the Switch 2 and not allow all of the main Switch owners to play it. So I'm totally fine if there's a Switch 2 version, but the full game works on both consoles. I think that's the route to go. Do they do a Smash event? I don't know. Like, how much are they going to promote their older games? Are they going to do a Splatoon event? I think Mario Kart World will be the place that they do it. Give us a Super Mario Brothers Cup. I could see the emblem being the 8-bit Mario and doing something fun with that trophy as well. I think it'd be super cool. And then if they could do it, a Mario Maker 3 or another 2D Mario announcement of some kind, plus the trailer for the movie, I think we're going to be in good shape. Lastly, I would say make sure that there is some kind of 40th anniversary Switch 2. And make that thing look as cool as possible. Don't just make it red. Don't stop doing that. Like, make it look like the first Super Mario Brothers game. Give it that aesthetic. Make it a collector's dream come true. And I think we'll have a very awesome 40th anniversary for Mario. Taking a quick peek at chat, Rico says, especially with how divisive Switch 2 is lately, if they make anything limited time for Mario's 40th, it would make things even worse and more stressful. We don't need that at this time. Rico also agrees. Also, yeah, Mario 40 should happen. Would be great. I'm with you. I am with you. I really, really hope it does. I really hope it does. So, that is going to do it. Guys, if you're listening on Spotify or watching this on YouTube after the fact, let me know what you want to see from the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. I don't have tomorrow's topic up yet, but stay tuned to the Discord. I will have it. And remember, Super Mario Brothers 3 is our game of the month. If you want to participate, you got multiple versions of that game. And I've got a video coming out with so many different Easter eggs. I'll record it in such a way that it can go out in the podcast feed as well. There's some very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff in Mario 3. So I would say jump in, start playing that. We'll be talking about it over the next month in the Discord. We will get to where we start the new games at the beginning of the month, but that's just not the way this one's working out. Plus, we have the Switch 1 at the beginning, or Switch 2 at the beginning of next month. So we'll just stick with this for a while. This format, and it's gonna be a good time. So appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you all for listening. You guys are the best. We are gonna race Mario Kart right after this stream, so I'm gonna download this and then we will be racing. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Take it easy.